welcome to Brojo for a review of Ferdinand the Bull.
Oh, I wish.
No, Katy, we're not. No. Like, I was cool with Coco. Coco's a good movie, but like, no. Ferdinand just makes me want to die.
Is a good
I
movie.
want to see Ferdinand so bad. It's the Bull movie with John Cena. And
remember the one where you can't actually see him?
Right. The little hedgehogs, they're like, do what I do, and they fucking go rolling off, and he tries to do that too and makes a shit ton of noise and then runs into a building. She comes back, okay, maybe not exactly what we do.
Uno, dos, and quattro.
That sounds terrible. Is John Cena the Bull?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no.
He's Ferdinand. Yeah,
At least he's not Pikachu.
Yeah, so... Or Shazam. I'm really sad about that one. I'm Kien, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Eli. All right, we're live. I'm Nate.
Hey, Nate! You always talk to us on the internet, so it's nice to have you here.
I do.
Yeah, Nate with the good dreads.
Yeah. Katy.
Yeah, she's back.
And John Dean.
Yeah, so we're actually here talking about...
Sorry.
We're actually here talking about Star Wars The Last Jedi, and I guess we're going to get a quick, brief synopsis. So, it left off, I don't know, how long do you think it left off?
Spoiler warnings on the new Star Wars, because I know for a fact Kian's going to spoil something before saying it.
Yeah, so this is usually, we've had this conversation, usually everything, we end up spoiling everything. So this is a spoiler talk. Yeah, so... Listen at your own risk, I guess, because like...
Or go see the movie first.
Or go see the movie first,
There's
like...
barely a spoiler-free review.
Yeah.
That doesn't...
Yeah,
it's
but
hard.
like with this in mind, this movie is... I don't know, like, how long it was after... It looks like it was just after the
It's got to be a while, because, like, Finn was put in that, like, medical thing.
Yeah, but then my thing about... Ray just handed it to Luke, and he threw it.
Well, I feel like they're not
they
constantly in this same time until
that's
they
very
get to a
understandable.
point where they meet up. I don't know, the bald guy.
So the first order is rising.
Just like my dick.
That's the person that tried to add me. Sorry, off
Oh
topic.
no, that's okay. I don't know. The first order is rising.
Just like my dick.
And
just making sure they heard.
Yeah. Now they heard it twice. And so, the rebellion is apparently very small, because I thought the rebellion was doing really well in the first movie, but apparently they're not. So...
I'm pretty sure that they, said that they were losing in the Force Awakens.
Okay. I didn't pay that much attention to the Force Awakens.
They also...
blow up their planet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then they also mentioned that Behemoth or whatever was a fleet killer, so I'm assuming...
Star Killer Base or whatever.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's destroyed quite a few
Death
ships.
Star 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's Death Star 2, because they never finished Death Star 3. They never finished the
No, he's talking about in this movie, like, the big-ass ship.
Oh,
yeah,
It looks like a fucking stealth bomber.
The Dreadnought.
The Dreadnought, yeah. I call it a Behemoth. But... I mean, they've mentioned it's a fleet killer, so I'm guessing it's destroyed a fuckload
At
of
one
their...
time, they probably had a fleet.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
And it was killed.
So, with that in mind, what did you guys think about this movie? Anyone can go in, because you guys had complaints, and I'm just ready to hear them all.
I really enjoyed it. I had a few complaints, but, like, in a new Star Wars movie, what I really wanted to see was, like, a decent lightsaber battle and some, like, actual, like... ship maneuvering like we've seen in older Star Wars movies, and I feel like this one kind of I really loved when they took the Millennium Falcon through the cliff. That was probably one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Okay. So I don't know. I'm very indifferent in this movie. I literally came into this movie not expecting it to be good, and I came in feeling like meh at the end of it. Like I think a lot of it was lackluster. I thought it was long. First of all, 2 hours and 40 minutes. It was long as fucking shit.
I usually don't have to get up to take a piss in the middle of a movie. I had to get up.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually I do have to get up in the middle, and somehow I made it through.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was trying to see which one of us was gonna go first, and I'm like, oh, I guess it's me. Damn it. But no, I guess I dug a few things. The one thing I really enjoyed though is I actually enjoyed Rey's character development in this one, and I I like how Luke is like, the Jedi suck, because, like, I've said this throughout every fucking movie I've seen, because, like, everyone's like, the Jedi are so awesome. I'm like, no, they're dickbags. They're, like, as bad as the Sith to me when it comes to their philosophy, because they're like...
I mean, you know, other than the whole, like, killing children and stuff.
Oh, you know, that's...
They've probably killed some children.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah. But my thing about it is just in general, like, I like the practical effects. The practical effects are pretty cool for the most part. Like Puppet Yoda. John was, like, all excited about Puppet Yoda.
Yeah, I hate CGI Yoda, so when they...
I really wanted him to do a backflip just to piss you off.
Oh, man, dude, don't even fucking...
On that note, though, I also think that the CGI that they did do was really good. Really well done.
That's one of the things about the prequels that, like, I always hated, is because, like, they decided to do CGI over practical effects, and, like, most of the time it was really shitty CGI. And it would have looked better if it was just a bunch of dudes in costumes.
Right. I think one of my favorite things, though,
Sexist.
is I love Poe Dameron. I love the name
Dudettes.
I love the name of Poe Dameron's X-Wing, because I feel like he had it for Finn. Do you know what Poe Dameron's X-Wing was named?
I don't remember them saying.
Black One.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah, alright.
Oh, that's not racist. Shit.
I don't know. I went into this one, like...
start calling Finn Token.
He is the only black one.
Yeah,
Lando.
Lando's dead, apparently. Like, we didn't see him.
I actually went into this Star Wars, like, the exact opposite. Because I had read online that, I can't remember his last name, but his first name is Ryan. He's the guy who wrote, basically, this whole movie.
Rain
was
Johnson.
like, what?
His name's Rain Johnson.
Okay, there we go. It just looks like Ryan.
Yeah.
Is that, like, his writing process was basically, like, trying to do the opposite of what The Force Awakens did, which is what everyone complained about, is that it was the same as A New Hope. So he's like, how can I write this so that it's completely different from Empire? I think there's a lot of similarities to Jedi in this one, but...
I saw a few
think there's
similarities
enough.
to Empire, though, too. At the same time.
I
Like,
mean,
especially...
other than, like, towards the end when they do the whole, like, Empire versus fucking,
Rebel Alliance
rebels
on Utah.
hiding on, on a space planet base thing. There wasn't really too much in there that was Empire-y.
Right, so it did have a lot of the sixth movie, though, because it had a lot of the, like...
It had the whole,
Snoke trying to turn Rey to the dark
Rey
side.
confronting the Emperor Snoke, or
Lord
whatever
Snoke,
he is.
Supreme Leader Snoke.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
But I came out of the movie, like, half and half. I liked half of it. I disliked a lot of it, too.
So, what did you guys think of that scene where Kylo Ren just fucking slices Snoke in half?
I knew it was coming.
I mean, yeah, it was foreshadowed. You knew it was coming, but still, I thought it was pretty cool. I actually really enjoyed that.
I kind of just wish they didn't show the other lightsaber doing this. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like,
Yeah,
they
so
really...
been more of a
Yeah, they
surprise.
hardcore hinted
Yeah.
it. If they would have
Well-
just, like, not have hinted that was going to happen... and
Also-
then-
Been better.
yeah.
I guess on that note, it is kind of hard to assume that Snoke was so fucking focused that he didn't notice at all the lightsaber turning.
But I feel like...
think that's
Kind of
why...
an overconfident douchebag.
Yeah,
He was.
I think that's kind of why they were like, that line where he's like, he's going to kill his enemy. Like, he literally could feel Kylo Ren's intentions. It's just like he didn't know what the target was.
Right. He implied it was Rey because in his lines about Kylo, he was like, I have control of him. He is my puppet. Like, he's going to do my bidding, and I can feel all of his rage and shit.
But, like, I really knew that it was coming because they did a lot of that. Oh, he's gonna switch. He's gonna get redeemed. Like, throughout the entire movie. So I'm like, they're gonna plot twist it.
Although I'm
and
glad
he's
they
not.
really didn't redeem him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, that was my
Yeah,
favorite
back
part of
to
this.
being
Yeah, that was my
Right.
favorite part
I mean,
of
that's
this.
what I've been saying since, like, when The Force Awakens came out, is, like, I don't want Kylo Ren to have, like, a redeeming arc.
The
I want
fact-
him to stay bad.
Yeah, the fact that he wasn't redeemed made me happy. I was just
Yet.
like...
We still have one more movie to get
I was
through.
just so... Like, I was getting a little pissed off when, like, he wouldn't kill Leia. I was like, you killed your dad! Kill your mom! Finish it!
I'm gonna bring this up
I'd
now.
actually. Oh.
Leia's space scene was trash.
Yeah,
Where
that
she
was
was like,
terrible.
where she
In
became in tune
space.
with the Spores.
Well, she's, like,
for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Like floating,
You
like,
got that dirt face going on. She's
Yeah.
like the one hand. Pull me back.
and then she like Jesus floats in
Yeah.
the fucking the
Through
thing
all the
again.
debris, and then her
No,
hand
no, no,
touches
no,
the
no.
bottom.
My other thing is, I was like, they have shields all around that entire ship. Why
Yeah.
didn't she? Why can't he just shoot that? I don't understand.
My favorite dirt face was Snoke's
Well,
when he's
'cause-
like half of his body
I
and
don't know,
his
isn't it
jump's out.
something with like they can fly through the shields, but they can't like shoot through the shields?
Right. It's like
So like he
it blocks
flew
plasma
under.
shots.
Yeah.
Well, my other thing is that in the very beginning, one bomber takes down a fucking dreadnought, and so
Wow,
like,
that
why
was
did they
a
even
lot of
send all the
bombs.
bombers?
That was a lot of bombs.
Still, why were the Empire has piss poor technology? They just put
Yeah.
a weak spot on everything that's obvious.
That's true. They always put it like right on top.
There's like a giant hole that says
Bomb me right
bomb
here.
the shit out of this.
There's like even a guy with the fucking light tubes
Yeah.
directing him in, like
right over here. Okay, here's my biggest complaint though, is that like I don't like Poe Dameron in this movie. He's a fucking douche and it makes me angry. Because they're like, he's trying to be Han Solo. I'm like, no! He's worse! He's like literally putting everyone in jeopardy. And caused like most of this shit to happen. In my opinion, the way it looks.
I mean, Han Solo killed Greedo.
I mean, to be fair,
Cold blood.
all of your complaints could have been solved if that other bitch had been like, look, dude, I got a plan.
Yeah,
this is
if-
what it
Yeah,
is.
if she had just been like, yeah, so we're gonna take these transports to the planet.
I think that's
Yeah.
my only like gripe with the writing for this movie is that they like set you up to hate her, and
I
then
didn't
like
hate her. I totally was like, yeah.
no,
I
because
get
they're
you.
literally like trying to get you to be like, wow, she's really being a coward. Like she just wants to run away, and there's like no chance they can do that because they can track them, and they're trying to like set Poe up to be like the hero, and then they're all like, just kidding, and it's like it's really like. It's kind of a piss poor writing technique, honestly. Like almost all of that was like unnecessary. She could have literally just like pulled him off to the side and been like, "All right, I get like your concern, but I do have a plan. This is what it is. You should really like back the fuck up off my dick before you start a mutiny or some shit."
So my thing is the reason I think they did that is because they wanted to make that tension that they only had hours to live.
But it was unnecessary tension because
Right.
we already knew that they only had hours to live when they were like, "We've only got about 18 hours of fuel left. That's pretty shit. You should
Speaking
probably
of
hurry
that-
up and get back."
Okay, when they're taking the shuttles to the planet, and I know I mentioned this before we started recording, but okay, so the ship is blasting these shuttles, and when they're on screen time, they're losing like one fucking
Yeah.
shuttle every like 10 seconds, and it's not missing. It's just
Yeah, it
fucking
never
destroying
misses.
everyone. In the whole screen, when they pan out, there's maybe 24 of them. But somehow it doesn't take them all out in the fucking 45 minutes that they're shooting.
Yeah.
Plot armor.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
but
it
it's
must have though because they all fit on the Millennium Falcon to escape.
That's
Like-
true too. So there must have
it
only
was
been
just the
like,
one left.
Well, I mean, there
Yeah.
was only you could see that there was only like 2 or 3 left, and there wasn't a whole lot of
But-
people that were like in
By
that
the way,
base.
that fucking door. No way could they not just shoot that bitch from space.
Yeah,
They were like,
that's
we're gonna
probably true.
drag this huge ass fucking
Yeah.
cannon down here. It's like,
Yeah, they
they
have.
gotta
like-
have something in
Yeah.
space.
We got this big, slow walking cannon with double anchors. What
But
are we
didn't
gonna
they
use
say
it
that They
for?
couldn't shoot them from orbit.
Yeah, they did say that. Thank you.
Yeah, but
what
they didn't really
fucking
give it
reason?
much explanation.
Like,
If nothing else, you could just sit there by the door, call another dreadnought. It's got
Also-
big ass fucking guns on
If
it.
nothing else, don't they still have Starkiller Base, or did they blow that up?
They blew up Starkiller Base.
Oh yeah, they blew up an
Yeah.
entire planet. I forgot.
Also,
about that. You're
fucking-
right. The Jedi are just as bad
Yeah.
as the Sith.
The
That's
the rebellion is a terrible, terrible
like a
group of people.
billion people dead right there.
No,
Yeah,
think of
they-
all the jobs they're putting
Yeah.
to work.
Yeah.
That's the
Well,
reason.
I
Ticker
mean,
jams.
they're creating quite a bit of jobs too, because now they gotta fucking rebuild the planet.
But then they blew up all the fucking workers. With
Yeah.
the Death Star too. Like,
And a Death Star 3.
Yeah, they were hired military contractors. They're probably just like, I'm putting my kid into college, and then all of a sudden, Lando
of all-
Calrissian blows up their ship. He's
Think
like,
of all the other Finns
I-
that were there, that were just like, I don't want to be here, I don't want to kill people, but I don't have a choice. And they killed them all. They blew them all up.
yeah,
I
but Finn
also-
was the one who was like, I want to rebel. But Finn is an asshole too for not being like, hey, do you really think we shouldn't be doing this? He just left. I was like,
I mean,
yeah, no, you're right.
to be fair, if he had been like, hey, this is probably like not cool, somebody would have been like, Traitor!
So,
Traitor!
I also
Traitor over
really
here.
fucking hated the scene where they, where Finn was just about to take out the fucking, the battering ram, and then
She
the
just
fucking
somehow
Asian
comes
bitch
out of
just
nowhere.
turns around,
Gross.
somehow manages to gain like twice the speed that they had
coming from
previously.
the side.
Comes in from the side and just swipes him out and puts everybody else in danger
Yeah.
to save the one dude who was literally only sacrificing himself for everyone else. She like
He's the
fucked
token.
his
We gotta
whole
keep
plan
it.
up.
He's the token black guy. Yeah. No, my favorite thing is about
She
that
had the
scene.
high
I
ground.
started laughing, and she turned around and gave me a dirty look, and I don't know why.
Cause what's so funny about that?
Because
Like,
that was fun. Did you not see? She's like, the wars aren't won by hate. They're won by keep
Yeah.
fighting for the things
Saving
you
the
love.
people that we love.
And then the fucking right when she says that, the fucking
Yeah.
hole blows. I'm just like,
It's literally like, we won't win by killing the things we hate. We'll win by saving the things we love. Everybody dies.
It's just
they
like,
weren't dead though. They were ready for the wall to break anyway because they knew the battering ram one hit and that thing would break.
They
Because-
might as well have been.
that's not the
dead.
point. The point is that like
Their last
they-
defense was a hologram.
Yeah.
They're
But
literally
they
like,
didn't even know what's coming.
let's trick them.
No, but that's my thing. Like they're building this up, this like love story that like didn't even feel like it should have been a love story, anyways, because there was no reason for them to like be in love. Like we were John and I have talked about this. Star Wars has this weird thing about just fucking gerrymandering love stories that
They're
don't need to be
probably
in there.
related.
I mean,
The Asian and the black guy.
it could just be like a heat of the moment thing too.
Oh.
Like, oh my god, I
don't
almost
think
just
it's first
died.
Rock.
You almost just died.
Right, but maybe she was doing
Tiger
it
Woods.
because her sister had sacrificed herself and now she
Yeah.
had grown close to this guy, even though he tried to fucking abandon ship at the
Would be the next
beginning.
emperor.
Well, he wasn't trying to abandon ship.
He was trying to
though.
save Ray. He was trying to
But
save
yeah,
Ray.
they never do
Yeah, because he
explain
did
that.
have that fucking. He had the tracker on and he didn't want
They
Ray
ne-
going
well,
back to the fucking.
Finn never explains that to the other characters though, so it's.
I
like,
also really
But he
hated
did explain it to Ray or Rose.
Rose. I also
Oh,
really hated
so-
though.
I forgot.
That part
Honestly,
didn't
the thing that
happen.
I hated the most is that, like, in Force Awakens, that there was a one-sided romance between Finn and Rey, and it was Finn liking Rey. In this one, like,
Yeah, but I didn't like that. It was weird.
yeah, it was weird. Like, I'm saying, but like in this one, like, it's a double set. Like, Rey, like, is like looking at the end as like Finn's putting a blanket on her, like, that bitch ain't special. Fuck her.
I feel that like love tension story in Force Awakens literally felt like a sad boy who's never had any contact with a girl, and finally a girl says hi to him,
He probably
and he literally like plans out his entire life with her and then stalks her and murders her later on in her life because she marries somebody else. That's what that felt like.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't really like this. So I'm kind of glad they like cut that off.
No, but now Rey's kind of like, oh man, maybe like Finn. Oh no.
Well, if
like,
she's gonna be a Jedi, she can't fucking love people. I mean, she can love people, but she can't like.
It's because
You know.
he used to be a nameless clone. Now he's a war hero. He's famous.
Yeah.
It's different.
she needs that check. I get it.
He's named after
So-
fish anatomy.
In fucking not Force Awakens, Rogue One, they have a scene where they fucking ram a ship into one of the Star Destroyers. And I was like, man, I wish they would have had that guy. Because he would just turned around one of the smaller ships and fucking rammed it into the ocean. Just would have gotten away.
I really, like I said, I was saying this. Nathan and I agree. The awesome anime scene with using the hyperdrive to fucking plow through a ship.
It was great, and honestly, the cinematics on that were fantastic.
Yeah,
I like how
like-
the entire movie theater was maintained a perfect silence for
And
that
then
whole.
just
Yeah, like you don't hear anything. You don't even see it. It literally goes from
Yeah.
like one still to it's fucking broken in half and shit.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
What I don't understand is why she watched all these other little
Yeah,
fucking pods
yeah,
die,
I
and
don't
then
get
she's
it.
like, oh, well,
Decided
now
to
there's
do
only
it.
like 3 left, so I should maybe do something about it now. Like,
She's literally like, somebody has to stay behind to make sure that all of the pods get away. And
she
then
only
like,
let like 3 get away.
and then
blew up.
she's literally planning on dying anyways because they're gonna blow up the cruiser, and then literally like you'd think, oh shit, they just blew one of those. I should fucking turn this bitch around and do something.
Right, like after
But no.
all the pods left,
She,
and you see
like-
like 1 or 2 go down, I'd be like, all right, no. And
Yeah,
then,
she just like stands in the window and is like sightseeing while everybody gets
She's like,
blown
what's
up.
working? Why isn't our plan working? I'm like, bitch, you just gotta fucking do something now. Like, you don't
think
have,
that
you don't have
cruiser
much
would have
left.
some sort of guns that she could control.
Yeah.
That's what I thought she was going
yeah,
to do.
me too.
And then
So I was
no,
like
she's gonna
pleasantly
break
surprised that she kamikazed herself.
Like I said, it was
cool.
like my favorite anime attack of 2017. It's just the nothingness, then just blowing up. I fucking love General Hux in this fucking movie because he's such a douche who whines throughout the entire movie like, eh!
That bitch slap to Finn. That was like, I had me rolling. That
just like, ow! Look at you, trash! It's like, that it?
I don't even
It's
think
like-
Finn flinched.
The
like,
only way it could have been better is if he like took off his glove and just slapped him with that.
I challenge you to a duel.
I would have liked to see like a full-on like Ike Turner just pop right in the fucking
Like his
jaw.
head just snaps backwards and he dies.
I like the anti-BB-8 they have in this movie that like knew from the get-go.
I really still don't like BB-8.
I don't either.
Like, I feel
either.
like he's just a weirdly cutesy R2-D2.
I hated the very first part where he's like plugging electric holes with
circuits,
his
yeah.
fingers,
Jams his head.
and then he just like turns and like jams a domed head into it like that's supposed to fix things.
Oh,
Like,
fuck.
We
this
are
isn't
all-
dead hard dog.
Yeah, it's
You know-
literally like, it's broken, I'm just gonna hit it with a hammer.
When like the one bitch, the bomber, she had like the little like fucking half moon symbol. All I saw was the Islamic symbol, and I was like, how the hell did that get to Star Wars? What
They
happened?
say Godspeed a lot too.
Yeah.
Like every time they say that "May the Force be with you," I'm like, don't shove your religion
No,
down my
dude.
fucking
And
throat.
then she suicides, and I was like, oh, it's
I
all
think that's the
coming
most times I've heard that phrase in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, and then
ever.
they're like, no, you say it this time because I've said it too much. I'm like,
Yeah, it's usually only like once or twice at the most.
it's at the beginning, at the end. It's like the beginning fight scene and fucking Return to like, and may the Force be with you, and also with you. And then they
Nobody
fight.
ever actually says that.
I would love people who say like, and also with you. Like, but that's my see.
People
think-
start chanting in the background.
I think we were glossing over the Luke and I think
Then they sacrifice a virgin.
yeah
The weird renewed sexual tension between Luke and Leia.
yeah.
Yeah, that
that's
was
it.
weird too.
What? It wasn't like they were gonna fuck. They like. They,
Well, I mean,
It
he was
seemed
a
like it a
ghost.
little.
Can't fuck a ghost.
well, like my thing is
I could
like.
try.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the
Actually, I've seen a video of a girl who claims that she's had sex with like 17 different
So she
ghosts.
like quit, man.
Yeah, she quit having sex with men. She's like, I've never experienced orgasm like I have with the spiritual. And I'm like, bitch is nuts.
My thing about this is, so does Luke become a Force ghost? Is that what we're all saying?
Well, yeah, he
Yeah.
fucking like poops.
So we are looking over the Luke and Rey story, and I don't know how you guys felt about it. I thought it was kind of like I thought a lot of this movie was boring to me.
It was meh.
It was boring.
I liked the comedy in this movie. I felt like it wasn't most of it. I felt like it wasn't like stupidly over the top.
Some of it felt forced.
I wanted
Yeah,
to
like
like
when
some of it.
BB-8 blew out of the walker, I was like, that's not really as funny as like I know a lot of people in this theater think it is.
Yeah, I thought a lot of the cutesy humor was stupid.
But
I
like
did.
when she sliced the rock in half and it fell down the cliff and knocked that
That
guy's
one was
head.
kind of good.
I just immediately pictured the guy from Avatar being like, my cabbages!
Well, and he just like looks up like, again, you fucking stupid bitch.
And then Rey's just, like, hiding back, like I'm sorry. I think I like the humor that Hux. I like the first thing that like I kind of giggled at, but I kind of felt like it got elongated. Was that like, oh, I can't hear you? I'm like, oh, that's really funny. And they kept doing it. I'm like, dude, just fucking.
No,
go
that
on.
was great. Because as soon as he was like made a your
Right,
mom
rock
joke,
over
I was
again.
like, yup, that's good.
That was pretty funny. Also, the same one where they were on the island. I liked when he's milking the beast.
Oh
my
and,
God, that was
fucking
and the other
awesome.
and the thing just like looks over at Ray like, sup?
I started you and I started bursting out laughing. I'm just like,
Well, immediately when I saw that, I'm like, whoa, look at the weird ball monster. And then immediately walks over to it and squeezes a titty. I'm like, oh, alright. I mean, I was pretty sure the blue milk came from Banthas, but
what from what?
the Banthas,
Oh yeah.
It was
No.
green.
It was
It
kind
was
of
like
green.
blue-green. But it's called Blue Milk in A New Hope or whatever.
Speaking of just these creatures, I hated all of them. I thought they looked really stupid, and I don't like forks. I'm still in the
Didn't
camp.
like the porgs?
I hate-
The guy to my right liked the porgs.
I didn't
Pissed
like him
me
too
off.
much either.
Yeah.
The Chewie interaction with them was funny though,
I
where
did
he's
not think
about
that
to
was
eat
funny
it.
either. I thought that was dumb.
I thought when they did the sad one, like looking up at him, like it was a little bit long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Like that was like 30 seconds of just like looking at that fucking thing.
My thing about the porgs is like I don't like cutesy shit, and it bothers the shit out of me because like
It's again another similarity to Jedi and the Ewoks. It felt like it was really just like another excuse to make a
Yeah,
toy.
at least they killed
it
some
wasn't.
Ewoks.
Yeah.
Well, they Chewie killed.
Well, the
Chewie.
Ewoks
They didn't even
literally,
eat
when Return of the Jedi came out, the Ewoks literally were just like, let's make this cute teddy bear thing.
That is also a fighting force that will murder
Well-
people with rocks and stones.
Literally because they were like, they're easy to market to children, and we don't have to do that much like changing from regular teddy bears. We just gotta slap some creepy faces on them.
thought it was really fucking stupid that after deciding that they were food and eating two of them, Chewie is then like, oh, I'm going to bring one with me as a pet.
He brought 6, and they nestled in the fucking.
Well, that was the
It's
only
fucking
one that I
terrible.
found funny when I saw the one like wearing the visor thing, and it's like looking around. Like I chuckled a little bit.
I didn't.
That was it, and it was only because it was like a second.
I had a frown on my face the entire time I saw the porgs. This is like, I'm not like, I guess I'm not a cutesy person. I'm just like, this is just my face, stone cold. Like, Katie's like smiling. I'm like, I fucking hate you right now.
Whatever, your favorite My Hero Academia character is Sue.
Well, those are.
I haven't
those are
seen
words. Anyway, no, I hated most of the comedy in
Did you really? Okay.
the movie. It was just Thor Ragnarok.
Only like the
It
subtle.
was Thor
Now,
Ragnarok.
whether
Only
or
the
not that
subtle
was because
stuff.
I truly didn't like it, or the bastard to my right was just laughing at fucking if you started laughing, even when like people were dying because you laughed a couple times,
Yeah.
he would start laughing. I was like, God damn it, he doesn't even know what he's laughing at.
He literally just thinks Kian's laugh is
Yeah, he was
funny.
just like,
Ian and I were laughing at some of probably the most inappropriate times to
I
laugh.
couldn't fucking help it.
As soon as I saw the ball monster, I fucking died.
Well, we're
It's just like sitting there being fat with some giant fucking balls.
There's a lot of like Nathan and I would sit there and it's supposed to be a serious scene and then one of us would just start laughing. Like it was supposed to be like these people are gonna die and I'm just like
Or, like when Rey throws the lightsaber to Kylo Ren and he just sort of pops it through the fucking helmet.
that was one of them. And then the guy was like laughing to my right. And I was like, he doesn't even know what he's laughing at. He's just
like Nathan and I just saw that scene and just whoosh. I'm just like because it's not awkward, like they're sitting there for 30 seconds after it's like you can let go now. Like any moment. My biggest complaint on that lightsaber fight is that like, okay, apparently part of their armor doesn't get hurt by lightsabers, but their gauntlets don't. And they're like
They're just Wonder Woman.
yeah, they're Wonder Womaning the gauntlets and it's like stopping it. I'm like, alright, I don't know how that works, but I don't think this is how it's supposed to work in real life.
Well, there was a lot of like pre-explanation about those guys that they're like the advanced versions of the Empire's Red Guard,
Right.
and so they have their own specialty armor that was supposed to be like to defend Sidious, and it didn't work. Like Sidious still died, so they have to be like upgraded versions.
I mean,
I just didn't like how they all had like their own little fucking weapon sets.
Yeah,
Pissed
I
me off.
actually liked them a lot. They were pretty cool.
Marketing.
They were cool, but they pissed me off. I
Yeah,
don't know why.
they again, yeah, they seemed like a really easy way to
It's like-
sell an action figure.
Yeah.
There
So
wasn't
it's like
much
this
to
one's
them.
different from this one.
Yeah.
He's got 2 swords, and this one's got a whip. It's just-
Well, there was the one guy that had the whip also. So there was like 2 guys that had a whip.
You could have picked it up. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
those Red Guards, they were...
So, like, the way that I take it with their armor is that it's kind of like how armor was used to deflect swords. back
Yeah, I
in
was
the
thinking
day.
sort of like how
There was,
chainmail
like-
works.
Yeah, there was like specific points at which you could deflect certain types of blades, But if you took like an axe to the head, it was still gonna fucking
Well,
kill
like,
you,
I
whether
don't
you're
know,
wearing a helmet or not.
It seemed to work how chainmail does, where like it would like deflect, but it doesn't make any sense with the composition of a lightsaber. I should preface this with that.
Yeah,
But
because the
it-
lightsaber is pure energy.
I mean,
Right.
it's could possibly simply be that the armor has some sort of like energy field too.
Well, but no, what I'm saying is it like. Because
'Cause they're
they
weapons.
deflected a slash, which is exactly how chainmail works, but then the stab seemed to go straight through.
yeah,
Well,
and
that's how chainmail
Again,
works too.
exactly how chainmail works. And then, I mean, and there were a couple that were like,
but
I
a couple of them got
forgive.
slashed, but they were still like a couple of them like kind of got like I don't know.
One
maybe
got like slashed in the throat, though,
Right.
and there's like a between the plates,
Okay,
so
yeah,
that
I
would
was
make
gonna say,
sense
he cut
to me.
one of their heads
Okay,
off.
so an
they-
ascension of we're reading too much into like the armor of a red card, but
I don't understand how, because of how a lightsaber works, I
Right.
don't understand how it would block a slash and not a stab, though.
Well, I feel like it's kind of particularly the same way that like their weapons worked. It's like an energy shield kind of thing.
no, and I completely 100% understand. Like like this movie, like I think we've touched. Okay, I guess we didn't touch on like Benicio del Toro's character. I fucking hated that character, by the way. The like
But the
sleazy,
stuttering.
yeah, the stuttering dude.
I hated that they didn't like go anywhere with that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He was
Yeah.
literally
there.
only like kind of like pandered in there to like make tension towards the end for
Right.
Finn and
I
Rey.
do- the only
Agree,
thing-
but at the same time, I'm glad they didn't redeem him.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I didn't want him to be redeemed, but I wanted that to go somewhere.
I
so
liked-
it'll be interesting
yeah.
to see if they bring him back in the
My
next
thing that
movie.
made him interesting is he like pointed out that it's like I've always said, they're both sides are very bad.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, look at this. Someone bought that X-wing.
Well, I mean, what he's saying is like that the people that they were saying were bad people on that planet were like selling to the good guys and the bad guys.
I
They're not
almost,
like strictly just bad.
But I
Almost-
always think like okay,
Like they're
I-
just in it. For
I'm not
money.
sympathizing with the First Order, but I do sometimes think like in the mindset of like maybe the Empire was right during that time. Like the Jedis were kind of fucking shit up, so like maybe they weren't bad. Which
Well, I mean, you can say that, but once you get down to like what the viewers know over top of what like the public knows, is that that's not what it was about.
right.
I mean,
It was about the Sith taking power by
it's no
force.
different than like
It really
our
wasn't
country,
fucking
America.
over the public, though.
Yeah.
Our country's a huge arms dealer, and we sell weapons to both sides.
Right.
Yeah.
Both sides happen to buy weapons. It's weird.
Right. So we're gonna go back to our regular number grading scale because everyone complained to me how dumb our other one was.
Yeah, it was
Well, it wasn't
stupid.
I always just give a number anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's just so I'm gonna give it a 4. Man, like there's things that were funny that weren't supposed to be funny, but I
That's
enjoy.
like pretty below average.
It's not a
Pretty,
it's,
that's like just below average.
it's like a
I mean,
le-
yeah.
I give it. I'm
Not
like.
IGN. Not
Yeah.
everything here has to be like a
Yeah,
hit to be
yeah. Like I'm sorry. Like I'm sorry if anyone is like hoping that I'm gonna be like that's amazing. Like I liked Rogue One a lot more than I like this, and I still like don't like The Force Awakens so much. But like I kind of had enjoyment from The Force Awakens. This really like I don't know. There's something about it like. The tension kind of got killed when we found out the true plan. So like that whole like you were talking about like that 16-hour like only energy left on their ship was kind of useless by the end of it. So like a lot of these plot points that they had were fixed right away at the end. I'm like, okay, that's really stupid and it makes me mad. I also again I don't like really cutesy things. So and I
I'm just
really
trying to go for Baby Groot.
I don't even like Baby Groot.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Baby
I
Groot.
hate
I like adult Groot. I thought Groot was a cool
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
character,
Groot was a cool
but
fucking character. Baby Groot just
no,
pisses me
I
off.
don't
Yeah.
like Baby
I
Groot.
thought he
Full
was
char-
cute, dancing
full-
in his little fucking pot, doing
full
his
character
thing.
pisses me
Fucking
off.
hated that.
I'm getting down. Oh, that part was so cute.
Hated
But like
it.
the only cute character I liked was Evil BB-8 because that dude knew what was fucking happening, and I really hate that they might have killed off Phasma. Like that's the another thing that makes me mad.
The only reason that I'll hate if that's how Phasma died is because they made her up to be like the new fucking
Yeah.
Boba Fett, and she went out like a bitch.
Like
He,
Boba
she,
Fett.
I don't actually know, but like
Star Wars is just like a,
Yeah.
a tragic story of killing off cool characters. Like,
Yeah,
they're just
that's
fucking
true.
nothing.
But it's like, I really don't want that to be the way that he wins in that fight too, because they're all like, "Oh, you're a horrible traitor, you piece of shit. You're a terrible person." And then like the only way that he's beaten anybody is because
Lucky bitch slap.
yeah, like TR-8R was just like the only reason he won is because all the other fucking ships came in Force Awakens, and then the other one he's just like, hey, I'm behind you, Tonfa thing to the face.
Well, in his defense, I mean, dude had the fucking DLC pack. Every
Yeah,
other
that's
shot he
true.
got in that actually made connection
Yeah,
did
he had enough
nothing.
star points to use
Yeah.
him as the hero.
They literally shot Phasma, and it literally the blaster sound was literally like ping.
Yeah, that's.
And so what do you rate it, Eli?
Yeah. Give it 5.
Why?
Because, like, I'd rate it higher, but they had a chance for a cool, like... I didn't want, like, a lightsaber battle. I just wanted, like, blaster fight, basically, between, like...
Mexican standoff.
No. But, like...
Kind of like how in Rogue One they actually like
yeah,
showed
that was
troops
really
on
cool.
the ground.
But I mean, even in like the Clone Wars, they have that on Geonosis, where it's not just all the Jedi and flashy lightsabers. And they had a chance for that on the fucking Salt Planet. I don't even remember what it's called.
Utah. We'll just call it Utah.
Utah.
Salt flats.
And instead, they were just like, no, we're gonna fly these retarded things out there, and they're not gonna advance any farther, ever.
Shoot, that's another problem I have is that, like, everyone was, like, licking the floor after they found out it turned red. They're like, ew, what's this? Salt.
I really feel like the only reason they put that scene in was so that people couldn't be like, it's the same as Hoth.
Yeah.
So they could be like, nuh-uh, it's salt, not snow. And it's red underneath.
Yeah,
That's
I was gonna be like,
different.
why is there a thin layer of salt all over this planet?
I don't know. It's just like the planet has really high cholesterol, I guess.
What do you rate it, Nathan?
Honestly, I'm probably gonna give it like a 7. I really enjoyed it for what it was.
All right.
There were a lot of things that I've kind of missed out of the last 2 Star Wars movies that I felt like they included in this one.
Like that Rogue One was in between 3 and 4.
Yeah, I must not even remember Rogue One. Like, I saw it in theaters, but I
It's
only
okay, it was
watched
a
it
while
once.
Katie's
Like
biggest
last year.
complaint was Leia was old.
In
Dude.
this
Oh,
movie
man.
or Rogue One?
Dude,
This movie. The
You know
only
people
other one I'd
age,
seen
right?
is like the first one and then Rogue One, so I like missed a whole bunch right there in the middle.
So
And
she's
so
like,
when we came in today, she was like,
I mean-
how old? And I'm like,
So how did you like retain anything from this movie?
dude, it's a little bit harder
I
than
didn't.
but as a person who just came, like, you are the person that would be the best to, like, come into this not knowing anything. Like, what do you give it?
I'd
And
probably
why?
give it a 6 because I liked Rogue One better than this one, and I still wasn't a huge fan of that one. And it's just like some of the scenes and how they played out really weren't good. A lot
What
of
do
the,
you
like,
give, what do you give the cute animals, though?
oh my god, like a 12? Is that a thing? They're so cute.
We'll give it that, but we're adjusting the scale. It's out of 100.
Yeah.
Okay, then we're gonna go 1,002.
Oh, fuck.
Then it's out of 1,000,000. See, we just keep adjusting the
Yeah, we
scale.
keep
We can
adjusting the
continue
cute
this.
animal scale. Because,
Like
like,
cute animals, and his
she's-
face was just like.
she's legitimately thinking about, like, yeah, the fucking floor. I fucking hate that scene.
I thought it was
so
so
mad.
cute. His
Every-
face was just like. I'm just like.
Just like-
oh, look at it.
Like, again, my favorite derp face was Emperor Snoke's, like, tongue out, like he's halfway dead, and, like, Hux is just looking at him like, oh, man, what am I
Although-
doing?
That was the one part I thought was funny. Is just where he's like looking at the corpse and just like fucking falls over.
Derp
I was like, oh, what the hell?
I really
That
like when it
fucking
just
long.
cut to like full screen dead face.
Yeah, I like how, like, Kylo Ren, there's a little bit of bitch Ren at the end of the movie when he sees Luke. He's, like, kind of level-headed throughout the movie. He's like, fucking cool him, shoot him now. And it's like, dude, don't
Shoot him in the penis.
Actually, speaking of that scene, one thing I also enjoyed was
fucking General
Kylo
Hux.
Ren's like giving the commands, but then the fucking commander behind him is like yelling him out again, like
And he gives him
pretending
that
he's
look
in
like,
charge.
Homie, what the fuck are you talking about? I just said that. Are you my ex?
That's why I really enjoyed when he just like forced through him against the fucking
I was
wall.
gonna mention that though.
Yes, Commander.
I didn't like how they just never used the Force in combat. They only used it to bitch slap people and pick up stuff.
It's like a gag. It's just a gag use of it.
Like they used it to fight over a lightsaber, to bitch slap Hux, and then to pick up some rocks, and that was about it. Because
That was another one of my favorite
Well, I mean,
things.
yeah, most of the Force stuff in this one was like mind trickery and shit.
I like how Kylo Ren and Rey were like...
I did see a really great meme that had to do with the Force. You know that part where Rey is suspended in the air and she's upside down and you just see her start screaming?
Oh no!
I saw a meme that was captioned and it was like when you put new batteries in your vibrator, and then it was that. And it was great. I hadn't even seen the movie yet, and I was like, whoa.
She's having non-flashbacks. No. I'll give like the Kylo the. It's that scene where you and your sibling are fighting over the toy, like who's gonna play with the teddy bear first. It's like, no, I'm gonna play with it.
Yeah,
no,
and then it
gonna play with
explodes. Happens every time.
And it splits in half, and like your mom comes in and is like, all right, rips it in half. You both get a piece.
And then she explodes. God, it happens every time.
Then a ship rips through your house
At light speed.
So John, what do you give it? Like you are the one who throughout every podcast we've had and talked about Star Wars, you have always been the one. You have been the most negative Nancy about Star Wars.
That's just
everyone.
because the prequels are trash.
They're pretty good.
There
I might
is
even up mine to a 6. I'm thinking more on that lightsaber fight. That was pretty good.
Damn it.
There is like one
pretty
thing
solid.
that I really like about this movie, and that it does a bit of redeeming from the prequels, in my own opinion, I guess.
Is it Yoda?
No.
That
Well,
bitch
I mean,
creeped me
Yoda
out.
is fucking great in this movie because they
That
went
was
back.
the only cute animal you didn't like was Yoda?
Yeah, Yoda creeped me out this movie. It's just like,
It's probably because they used a puppet. That's why it's so great. They did go back to using a puppet for Yoda, and that's why I really liked it because that puppet's amazing.
So it was
But-
because of you.
Well, no,
Okay.
but in the prequels, they explain like midichlorians. They never do that in the original trilogy,
Yeah.
and it makes the Force sound really fucking stupid.
Yep.
And in this
No, it's
one,
Scientology.
yeah, and in this one, they do pretty much the exact same thing, but they explain it in a way that's like,
Doesn't sound retarded.
yeah, it's like, they basically explain it like it's like what binds matter together.
Is everything.
Energy.
And like, yeah, and before they're like, midichlorians, it's this magical space dust that floats in the air, and it gets inside you in weird ways, and then you can move
Well,
shit
they're-
with your
they're
face.
organisms, man. It's not dust.
Like a
Come on.
vibrator
Yeah.
and the battery's being replaced.
But
Said it's Scientology.
there was something else I was gonna say that I really liked, and now I can't remember.
What do you
Must
rate
not
it?
have been that great.
Yeah, what do you
Yeah.
rate it?
Well, no, we've just been fucking. Now I'm thinking of like vibrators. And
What do you
Dead
rate it?
Snoke space. I don't know. Honestly, I think I'm gonna give this a 7.
Okay, so
Like,
I'm the lowest.
surprisingly, I liked this
Wow.
more than Rogue One, and that's
Oh my god, I am not.
Although,
partially
I was-
because.
I was gonna say, it seems like technology gets fucking worse the longer
Star
this
Wars,
universe
yeah,
gets
the
on.
longer you get in
They're
the
just
universe.
running out of shit.
I
Yeah.
think it's because like the rebels are like constantly running away.
Well, no, but the Empire's like what retarded. They're like fucking wily coyotes coming
Yeah.
up with all their technology.
We have now
we got the
Dragon Force Zone.
dreadnought, and they're like, let's put a big hole on top of it.
Let's
So-
make this fucking battering ram gun.
So
Yeah.
we have,
Sorry, why would we
have
ever do
these
this?
3 questions Star Wars related for this, and one of the questions is: anyone who has followed the Star Wars universe, what job would you choose, or what alien race would you be in the Star Wars universe, and why?
I mean, I would prefer to stay a human. I suppose.
They seem to
Although
I would prefer to be a human, but I'd be Caucasian because they seem to go a lot further in life in the Star
Are you
Wars universe.
kidding me? All of the stormtroopers are white, and they do nothing but die.
I was gonna say that Asian and the black guy made it far today.
What? Also, why are the most powerful Sith Lords always the people that look closest to death?
Because they've accepted the dark side of the Force.
They always look like a fucking
Yeah,
bad
that's-
cop is gonna take him
yeah.
out.
No, that was the thing. I was whispering it to Katy. Snoke looked like Sloth from the Goonies took Elton John's wardrobe. And was
Yes,
just
he did.
sitting there.
And when he died, it's like you shouldn't have stole it from his closet.
Hey,
Dude.
I
A
Elton
didn't-
John
lot
definitely
of
wore it
like
better.
explanation for
All I
that
can think
comes
about.
from like expanded universe stuff, but none of that's like really canon
there-
anymore.
Well, is there some on Snoke now?
No.
No, not really. But
Because
like
it never
before-
like he's this huge enigmatic force in the Force Awakens, and now
Yeah.
he's just a guy,
Who
Well,
went out
that's-
like
and then
a
he
another-
fucking dies. You know,
that's
like a
another
bitch.
thing that like they did with the trying to make this trilogy different from the original one, is they wanted to like make him less of a big character. Because that was basically what they had been doing with The Force Awakens, was setting up to just be another Emperor, and they wanted to, like, not do that instead. So it kind of, like, kills some of the continuity with The Force Awakens, but I like it a lot more than them having gone through it. But back to, like, them being, like, old and shit, before Disney, like, came in and wiped all the expanded universe out of canon, a lot of it was, like, that the dark side of the Force corrupts absolutely, so it, like, it's almost like rotting their body away, too.
You never really see that with anyone else, though.
Well, Palpatine.
Yeah, but you got fucking Sam Jackson fucked his face
lightning,
up. I mean,
but he's also, like, progressively hella worse in the original trilogy than he even is after the lightning thing.
Well, I mean, he's older.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just wrinkles on wrinkles.
Okay.
Oh my god.
What color of would you? Okay. Second question, because like I don't think anyone wants to be anything in Star Wars.
Whoa, no, we never said I would put on our job.
Okay, I would like to, like I said, I'd like to be a human that's white in the Star Wars universe.
That's it. He doesn't even want a job. He's supposed to be a white guy.
Yeah, you can't be a white guy without a job.
Yeah.
You have to stay this. You have to stay the
rule.
color you are in real life.
All right, if I was going to be that, then I'd be the really bad-speaking Asian guy that was like telling the fucking First Order where the ships are, because like
Yeah, there are Asian people.
Yeah, apparently. So like, I would be that Asian guy, and not the two Asian girls who were trying to do, not the Asian girl who kicked the switch and grabbed it midair to kill herself. Yeah, that'd be that.
I mean, she was gonna die either way. So
as a child, I would have said pod racer, and now as an adult, and like seeing how dangerous it actually really is, I'm like, no.
I mean, also it seems like you have to either like be like part of like the junkyard collection at Tatooine or a child slave. So your options.
All right. Actually, I'd be Uncle Owen before he got burned. Like he looked like he just did shit.
I mean, at the very least, if you were Uncle Owen after you got burned, you wouldn't have to be white.
Crispy black. John Boyega.
Burnt pizza.
What would you do, Eli?
Well, fucking no.
Okay.
Like, I don't have anything that's not just like what every little kid would want to be anyways.
A Jedi!
No, I want to be a bounty hunter. I just want to
Okay.
straight up kill people. None of that cauterizing the wound shit.
What about you?
I'd probably go with bounty hunter too. Like, I mean, a Jedi Master sounds cool and shit, but then like everybody's telling you what to do. As a bounty hunter, you kind of just make your own shit up. Like, you could literally take either side, like Jango or Boba Fett, Jango Fett, whichever one. They weren't really like loyal to anyone but money. They were just really pragmatic.
You got nothing?
I'd like to be a plot.
Janitor.
No. that would be a cheerleader.
No, you don't want to be a janitor. Don't you remember the ice cream maker guy on the Death Star when it was blowing up?
Kien really liked that one.
For anybody that doesn't know, I believe I can't remember if I think it's the second Death Star when it's
The
blowing
second
up.
Death Star?
Yeah. So when the second Death Star is blowing up, there's one of the like Imperial fighter guys is like running away, and they basically just took a guy that was on set doing nothing and told him to run across the screen while shit was blowing up. So he's just like carrying an ice cream maker across the Death Star while it's blowing up, and it's great. He has a name and everything, but I can't remember what it is.
It's also the fucker that like hits his head.
Yeah, there's the guy who hits his head on the doorway.
He's also got like a
doorway. Well, everybody in the original trilogy has names.
Oh, no, but
like every single character is named.
Really?
Yeah, like they never even say it, but like the guy who's in charge of the Death Star in A New Hope, like that's Grand Moff Tarkin, which is why, like, if I ever get a dog, its name's gonna be Grand Moff Tarkin.
What would you be, John?
Terrible.
What would I be?
Yeah, in the
I
Star
don't
Wars
know.
universe.
I'd probably go the same route and just be a bounty hunter. I don't really care what my species or race would be or anything like that. Like, I'll be a fucking alien thing. It'd be cool.
Next question.
I like the idea of using lightsabers, but not being like tied to the either side of the Force, because like they're both kind of.
And the last question is like, what color of lightsaber would you want, and why? Why choose that color? If there was any significance to that color in your opinion.
Purple.
Because of Samuel L. Jackson?
It's also my favorite color, but that's why it is. Not even joking.
Purple.
I mean, I had already said purple just so that when I'm in a giant battle scene, everyone will know exactly where I'm at.
Yeah, it can be recognized easily.
What about you, Katie? I'd like a pink lightsaber with a ribbon and a bow.
Not with a ribbon and a bow, but a pink lightsaber with like glitter in the fucking lightsaber. Fire the fuck
Glitter
right.
is the worst.
No, dude, I
Fucking gets
flash
everywhere,
it.
dude.
Yeah, your lightsaber gets all over people
As she
and
swings
sticks
it,
to them.
It's like blinding. It's like a blinding attack too. They're like, oh, what the fuck? You're like, surprise,
Literally,
bitch.
like, jumping at the battlefield.
Fuck right.
Yeah.
Just makes me think of like a Jedi stripper. Like,
Yeah. Like, she's, like, spinning
Glitter
around.
just makes me think of strippers.
She's, like,
so-
spinning around a lightsaber pole.
The Sailor Moon equivalent to a Jedi. Power, go! John, what would you choose?
I don't know.
But the one that's, like, in
Color
the
wouldn't
kitchen.
really matter to me. Like I said, if I was gonna
Like
be
what?
like, if I was gonna use a saber and use the Force, I wouldn't like pick one side or the other. So maybe I'll take one of each. Do like,
Just wear kyber crystals on your neck. And
oh
just,
no,
like,
I don't mean like a billion lightsabers. I mean like maybe I'll just take like a green and a red. Be like the Christmas Jedi. I'll do blue and red so that like when I'm chasing down people in the battlefield, they think the cops are coming at them.
It's like, put them together and it's like, swing them around in circles.
The only person who'd be afraid is Finn and Sam Jackson.
Whoa.
That's what got lit.
Whoa, Sam Jackson's dead in this universe, so
That's why.
he can't be afraid. Yeah,
So honestly, I guess
he didn't actually get flung out that window. He jumped out when he saw the
I just imagine you.
the cop police Jedi coming.
I just imagine you like spinning him in circles, just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's like,
it comes with
Accidentally
no
cut
sound.
one of my arms off. Get a robot one, do it again.
I guess.
No, it's like General Grievous in episode 3
He's just
when
like-
he's spinning him on his hands.
It's just like helicopter with. I guess. I don't know. I'd probably choose red because I don't know. I like okay. As much as like the dark side rots your fucking body, like I look.
Well,
at,
that's not canon.
I know, but when I look at like the dark side over
It's
the
kinda
light,
red.
the dark side lets you do a lot
He
of
is
cooler
quite
shit.
Get lightning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm looking
lightning's
at
pretty
this. I'm looking.
cool.
This is a real thing. Like
Although apparently Yoda gets that anyway, so I'm
No, he just
he gets lightning repelled.
he like force pushes the lightning.
Yeah.
fucking
away.
summoned a lightning bolt in this movie.
That's
He's
true.
a goddamn ghost. He's just
But
like finger
He
up.
doesn't. He doesn't like. He
Instant
doesn't like.
fire.
Yeah, and then lightning comes out of his hands.
I mean, if I
Dude,
could
they all
rain,
have to go like.
if I could just point at the
The
sky
Emperor
and then
does-
strike
the
my
Emperor
enemies.
does that every time he uses it. He literally
Your greatest
looks-
weakness is any light covering.
Shit, he's covered in rubber.
He literally like every time the Emperor uses his lightning, he literally like shoots his hands out and he's like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
Like
No,
I'm not kidding.
At
It's
least
literally
Snoke
like,
was kind of just like tap the thing.
Well, that was
like,
one thing I thought was cool about Snoke is like
He
he doesn't
didn't
even
go.
like,
He
he doesn't
didn't
even like hit Kylo Ren with it. He like hits the floor
And it kneels him down. Yeah.
Yeah.
no, and it like reflects back
Reflects
up at him.
up and bitch slaps him across the room.
I just like.
More examples of using the Force to bitch slap people.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's been our review. Thanks, guys.
Do we have another question?
It was just, do you want to be part of the Empire or the Rebels?
I mean, that's a
Empire.
question.
I'd be part of the Empire.
Oh, wait.
Neither. Anarchy.
What was it?
Based on where the story's going so far, Empire for
So wait,
sure.
was
There's
that
like
Rebels?
8 rebels.
Yeah, those
Was
are,
it
that's a
Rebels?
bad
Yeah, but
idea.
Empire,
one was a
Rebels, and
Jedi.
New
That
Order.
counts as at least 2.
Okay, so
Yes, there's
so
not.
there's
I
like
think I don't
9
know. I
rebels.
don't know. Like, because if it's this universe, definitely the First Order. Because like the Rebels are getting fucked up. But even like after
Yeah,
watching,
but at the same time, there's like a lot of workplace risk with Kylo Ren.
That's true. Yeah.
Like you're gonna have to get
you
hazard
could be
pay or something.
stationed not near Kylo Ren. Those guys were just.
I
unlucky
highly
enough
doubt that
to
when
be-
you like join the First Order military, they're all like, "All right, so sign right here to not be anywhere near the guy who's probably gonna
Yeah.
throw you into a wall when he's really
I
upset."
think it's randomized though.
That's the point.
I
Like,
also-
why would you want to join and potentially like be next to like possibly the most powerful evil guy in the galaxy
Speaking of Kylo Ren and getting rid of
who has
stupid
like a
shit
temper
though,
issue?
I'm glad that they got rid of his helmet Because,
Yeah.
the 4 lines he said in his helmet, I just could not fucking understand him. I was like, oh, this is going to be a long movie.
It
It's
wasn't
Snoke is
really
like,
that I didn't understand
get that helmet
them.
off.
It was just like I didn't like the helmet. It felt like it was too pandery to the Darth Vader
I mean, it
fans.
was.
He was supposed to. Did you not hear
Yeah.
Snoke being like,
No,
"You're
I
treating
know
like
that,
Vader's
but
the
like
fucking
it
president of the
felt
fan
like
club, I mean.
it literally only felt like the reason they kept the mask in because he like literally took it off in the
Under
last
the
movie,
helmet
too.
of Darth Vader, there's a plaque that says "#1 Granddad."
That's an actual meme. I've seen it before.
I
too.
mean, I was gonna say it's better than the last movie where he literally was holding on to fucking Darth Vader's mask. Like,
yeah, and it was like his skull was in it too, and it's just like Grandpa, and everybody's like, dude, that's fucking weird. You should bury that.
He's like, "What'd you say?" "Nothing, dude. I'm just gonna walk away from you now."
And then he blows everything up. With
I kind of wish
Go on,
they did the Kylo Ren, Matt the Engineer from that SNL skit.
I did really like that they kept Kylo Ren's like temper tantrum issues in this one.
Yeah, but not as bad though. Like, that
no,
was
like
something that was
no,
awesome.
it was pretty bad. Like
I mean, but comparatively,
he,
like the first movie
beat the
was
shit out of that helmet, and then like anytime he's getting angry, he like force pushes a dude into a wall. And
stress relief, man.
He's literally like looks at one guy on the ground, and he's got all these fucking like gorilla AT-ATs, and is all like, "Focus all of our guns on him."
At least he doesn't have a girlfriend, John.
What?
Saying he beat her? I don't understand.
Yes.
I'm like, I mean, he'd probably be less angry if he got laid
Would he
once in a
really
while.
be? He's
Yeah.
got daddy,
He's got a
daddy
lot of that
aggravation.
sexual tension going on. Why do you think he wants Rey to join him all the time?
Because they're sister and brother.
Why do you think he's all like, "Oh, we're gonna like force talk. I better take my shirt off."
I like
Okay,
how they
For the
threw that
record,
line in.
he was actually considerably more buff than I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me as well.
One thing I did not like was that line, like, "Could you put a shirt on at least?"
Could you put a cloak on at least?
Yeah, it's like that's weird.
Maybe
that
because
makes
you
it
think.
weird.
Maybe
That
because
I
makes you
totally thought he
think
was
of
like
the weird
lanky and
sexual
skinny,
tension.
and then like there's the one scene with him with his shirt off. I was like, Jesus, like he was way more built than I
He's got
expected.
bigger pecs than like my head.
Right?
And I was like, damn.
Thanks for listening, guys.